Hey guys, how's it going? All right, so we've got a few things to talk about before we dive into the analysis. Even though I gave a little bit of a hint of what's going on in the the thumbnail or the title of the video here, but yeah, we got a winner for like a giveaway for subscribers to this channel. The winner that I pulled up from the system, their name. Sorry if I butcher your name. It is Janice Obols. So if you have if you're watching this video, basically right in the description of this video, you'll find my handle on Discord. Just reach out to me on Discord. Just know that I'm not asking you for money. So just in case you get messaged by a scammer, I'll be giving you money. So the winner's getting $100 worth of karma tokens, and you can either keep it and earn passive income from the rewards, or you can sell it for $100. So congratulations. Oh, look at that. You're in the feed there. All right, cool. So yeah, just reach out to me on Discord, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. We'll be doing like a verification process just to make sure you are who you are. And I'll walk you through that when we get there, and then yeah, we're set. And also, I want to congratulate the winner of the last trading tournament contest that we had in the community. We're doing weekly trading tournaments, and the winner got $250 US and USDT. Let's see here. Let's post it over here really quick. Yeah, so we had a winner. They won by quite a bit, 94% P&L for the week. So congratulations on that. That might be weighted more than the prize itself, but you got $250 on top of that. And we're doing another one. So anyone who's like trading underneath my link, you're automatically signed up to the tournament. And it's going to be another $250 for this week as well. And this tournament's going to be going on until April 1st. So between now and then, try your best to focus on your P&L to be as profitable as you possibly can. I don't want to do volume-based tournaments because they normally induce bad behavior, but the P&L tournaments, they kind of force you to be more careful. So I'd rather have good behavior trading so you can get rewarded for it in the end of the week. And if you are in the Discord community, you'll see the badge on top of your name that represents that you won a tournament, so you can flex it to the community. But yeah, we'll be doing another giveaway for every single week for tournaments and for subscribers to the YouTube channel. So that's your cue to subscribe. Just kidding. But yeah, if you guys want to subscribe, you'll get added to a ballot system that will allow me to choose a winner. And if you comment on any of the videos, preferably the most recent videos, then you will also get a ballot entry as well. But it won't be a double ballot entry. Kyle, I didn't get the Karma airdrop. It's not working anymore on Uniswap. Uniswap has it has a BNB network, I believe. But I would recommend using PancakeSwap if you're going to be trading Karma, because it has the most pairing liquidity there. If you didn't get the airdrop, shoot me a message. There was a ton of bots. We got attacked by there's 80,000 requests from bots, and it only ended up being about 270 people being real that actually submitted the form. So for any reason you might have gotten filtered out from the system, just shoot me a DM and I'll make sure you get that airdrop as well. But yeah, DP got second place for 65%. I think you're you're in the top 10 right now, right? You're doing good, man. Keep it up. All right, so let's go over the Bitcoin analysis, and then we can go over some requests after that. So right now as we speak, we're kind of dancing between the 200 daily EMA, which is this line right here, and the 50-day EMA right here. What we don't want to happen is have this line cross this one, or else it creates a death cross, and some traders respond to that to take profits with any golden cross strategy. Because the last time we had a golden cross was a long time ago. If we zoom out, if the traders who have automation systems that respond to these crosses, the last time they entered was at 27,000, right? And they have their stop loss below the daily strong low, and they'd still be holding it. We almost crossed over here, right? We almost crossed, but we had an event where we basically grabbed a bunch of liquidity, and that was like the last time we had that rotation down before we ran up to where we are now. So the price action, or the 200-day EMA is finally caught up to the price action where we're ranging, kind of like we did back here, and we started, dancing between the 200 and the 50-day EMA before leaving again. So we might have a range extension between where we currently are here, and see consolidation back and forth the same way we did back between February and October in this range. I prefer, this could be, we grabbed a bunch of liquidity from this low, and we kind of got this little last demand zone before we're rallied back up to fight the 200-day EMA. I'm anticipating that based on the downtrending momentum that we've got here from the all-time high, that we might have a squeeze event to cause or force consolidation between the 50-day EMA and the 200-day EMA for potentially, we could see it happen for the next 5 or 6 days or so, retest the uptrending momentum and maybe get us a break around here and break this downtrending momentum to start grabbing all the liquidity around between like 94K and 95K. There's about $3 billion like resting around here, but we have quite a bit just above 92K as well. So that could be used as exit liquidity to bring the price down, or it could be used as buy-side liquidity to help pump us into this value area again so we can trade this range again. I've missed this range a little bit. So hopefully we get something like that. If we zoom in on the 15-minute time frame, we are currently trying to establish that range. Like we had our first change of character occurrence after, I'm not sure if this is a coincidence or not, but we had a period within this time here for quite a bit. We've had the minor capitulation stage be at like 88,500, which basically just means that a lot of miners, this is how much it cost them to make one Bitcoin, right? 88,500. For a long period of time, that's how much it cost while we were down here. And that tells us this is the moment that they'll be able to sell those Bitcoins that they created at a profit. And the moment we touched it, we couldn't get past it, and the price card started going down again. So that kind of like either A, traders are responding to that, or it's just a front run of the 50-day EMA, or B, like miners were actually selling and it dropped the price a bit. But when I looked at the on-chain metrics of the supply, it didn't really, at least it hasn't updated very much that they've sold. We're seeing that the wallets are still kind of stable and that they're not really dropping. So I think it might just be a coincidence, or just a front run of the 50-day EMA. So what I'll be looking out for here to help establish this range is an internal like 15-minute change of character occurrence. Right now we're fighting the point of control of this potential range here. Right, we got the change of character occurrence, we dropped, we got another change of character occurrence up here. And so we kind of established this as a range. If we come up a little bit further and maybe grab this liquidity, test the 50-day properly, and then have a rejection, this would be a decent range to start trading until we wait for it to actually break. So we're kind of getting squeezed between two important EMAs right now. All right, so let's take a look at the chat here. Click the like button from Oliver. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Okay. So if we end up getting a change of character like now, internally we got this level here that we can watch out for. But I prefer us to go up a little higher so we don't have to worry about all the barriers all along the way as much. We get better R&R chances for our setup. We can target these lows again. Okay. So vacation. Asking for cubic again. We can do that, man. I think by now we have a cubic chart, right? Let's take a peek. The last time we looked at was March 17th. So it's been a little while. So March 17th. Yeah, we're looking at this uptrending momentum. We kind of got squeezed a little bit here for a moment, and it broke. Yeah, broke down, retested, got us a lower low, stop loss guard here. And we then lost momentum shortly afterwards. Fell down to a previous value area high that we're monitoring after we had a strong retest off of it. And now we're kind of just consolidating. So like if you're still in on that short, I would definitely be out, because structurally, like, you had a lot of warning signs to already get out. We lost the downtrending momentum, and we got the double bottom change of character occurrence, right? Double bottom here, change of character occurred here. It would occurred, normally it would occur here if we got the lower low on the double bottom, but we didn't. So I would pull a separate fixed range volume profile from here to where we currently are for a cubic. Delete some of this noise because it's not necessary anymore. And we see that we hit the local point of control. We're having it act as resistance. We are starting to get a pullback. We already got a healthier pullback. We're dancing above the VWAP right here, so the daily weighted average price. If we get the higher high, we could use the low that we have here as a stop loss guard, because we'll have the confluence backing of breaking the point of control and getting above these local highs, and we can start targeting the value area high again up here, while being mindful of the local resistance right here at 12857. I'm not saying all those zeros, I'm sorry. The only annoying part about high supply assets is that they have the crazy amount of zeros that you have to like say in your TA. So yeah, we're trying to validate this, reclaim this value area right here. So if we get that higher high, we have that confirmation of proper acceptance with our first break of structure occurrence, and we can start targeting the value area high again. That's super short price action TA. If we zoom out a little further, we have this downtrending momentum that's been holding it down since way up here, where we ended up getting a correction of, or currently down 72% since that high. So we might break the downtrending momentum very soon if we maintain being range bound up until that point. Kind of similar to what we were betting on with Bitcoin, that we'll probably see it being squeezed for about 5 or 6 days between the 50-day and the 200 EMA. And this, from where we currently are, it's about 10 days or so before we retest there. Unless we go up from here, then that can shorten our time frame. But we got clear signs of accumulation. We got inverse head and shoulders right here, where we got a left shoulder being formed here, and we have the right shoulder forming right now for a more macro inverse head and shoulders as well. And we're kind of have like an internal setup for one on top of that. So it does look like it's fractalizing accumulation warnings. So we might finally see, if we break past this inverse head and shoulder structure, acceptance back inside this more macro value area, where I kind of believe it's Cubic's current like true value, and right now it's way undervalued. All right, so that's Cubic. Let's check out the chat. Let's see, Sui. Easier to look at in billions. Yeah, I hear you. Let's take a peek at Sui's chart. All right, Sui is in that green triangle zone that we've had drawn for a while now. Like, we have the internal downtrending momentum break here. We've got this more macro momentum that squeezed against a strong previous value area high. The momentum comes from the top, almost the all-time high here at $5.07. We've dropped since the start of this trend line to where we currently are 50%. So So that's half of Sui's market cap gone. And I know Sui is a good asset, so it's just one of those ones that are just everyone's starting to take profits. It was way overextended, and now it's like on top of this macro demand zone, which is where we got that previous value area high from, where we got that bounce. So that squeeze against that strong demand zone gives us a good warning sign that we could be breaking this momentum very shortly and start rotating our way back up and maybe build a large range, or at least get acceptance back up and create a new one up here. Now zoom in a little bit further. Like we fall in and we end up getting like this, almost like this cup and handle structure, right? We came down, we came up to this value area high, got acceptance back inside the value area here, lost momentum, and we kind of like rode back on top of this volume shelf. And now we built this double bottom pattern, and it kind of gave us like this cup and handle structure. But now we're testing the downtrending momentum very shortly. Or we could be testing it now. All it takes is a small little realignment. And that's why you don't want to follow trend lines for taking action. They're more so alerts that you can just build alerts off of them. Unless you're using it as a tool to help you with your exiting your trades or holding your trades is kind of helpful in that kind of case. Watching the momentum. Once the momentum fails, you can make a decision of whether or not where it failed, if you want to take some gains or not. So let's see what we have. If we were to extend our rally area from where we currently are to there. And the current momentum being here. Let's see if we get move coming up soon. We gotta hold this level of support. Right now we're still acting as resistance, so we could SFP. That's one warning too, and that would be good confluence for a short, being at this momentum level. Oh, Alexo Crypto, what's up, man? GIF, bless you. You'll buy more cubic at 0. Yeah. I actually got to start trading because I paid for Fano for 2 months now. Life with FTJ. Oh yeah, if you're paying, man, you gotta use that time to learn as much as you can. The first thing I recommend is taking the courses, and then you'll be able to understand what we say a lot more in the calls. But you're way more. You're definitely welcome to ask any questions, even if you like don't know what like value area high means or value area low. Like some of the more beginner stuff. Like there's no such thing as a dumb question. We all started somewhere. Yeah. Sometimes the abbreviations can be a little bit tricky. And they always keep making new ones. So like even I learn new abbreviations once in a while. Is there any assets you guys want to take a look at? See, we went over Sui. Nothing that we can take action on. This is the 90-minute, so we zoom in on the 15-minute. And we're starting to form got bearish divergence formed from here. Hit the momentum level. We could double top. I prefer if we double topped if we create a higher high first, but it's not up to me. Just because I want this to be a change of character occurrence for confluence. But the neckline's on a key level, like right here. So losing that neckline, and especially seeing it act as resistance with a confirmation, you can start targeting like at least the high, these highs here, or we have a demand zone right over here that we can watch out for. This order block, and also monitor the value area high level right here. Not a short that I personally would take. What's your Ondo doing? What's our Ondo doing? Let's take a look at Ondo. Oh, we looked at this today. So Ondo, And we're looking at a short today to the neckline right here. We're at a local demand zone. This is the 15-minute time frame. Currently at a value area low. Where I was hoping for a local SFP off this high, but maybe I was being too picky for the short. And some people may have taken it when we were talking this morning. Currently we're resting above the VWAP on the 15-minute time frame. What we don't want to see, unless you want it to go down lower, is the break of this low right here. Preferably if the low also captures the break of the VWAP, so you have that additional confluence. What could end up happening based on the structure against the VWAP, we could break down, retest these highs, then get a lower low, and I'd feel much more comfortable entering a short on something like that, knowing that I have the VWAP on my back instead of like right in front of my face. And then you'd have to watch out for this demand zone right here as your primary target. If we end up getting continuations from there, then awesome, but this is where I would initially target for the short. But we're starting to escape this range. If we end up getting acceptance back inside the range from this like leading off to a drop down to the value area high, and then we get acceptance inside of it again, then you can start targeting all the way back down at 82 cents or so. But I'm getting the vibes that based on Bitcoin's positioning, that a lot of things are getting ready for a big run. So I'm not really keen on shorts right now unless it's very short-term stuff. No pun intended. Man, the INJ stop loss is at 1075. The price is rotated to... Oh man, that's close. If you use Kyle's link, you are automatically in the tournament. Alright, cool, yeah. Exactly. Is there minimum deposits for Blowfin to join the tournaments? No. No, there is no minimum deposit. We just, as a group, need to do a total amount of like $50,000 in volume, and we exceed that on the first day usually. Cardano. Okay, so Cardano's next one, then Link. ADA. Apparently we checked this today. Okay, so Cardano's doing what we kind of want Ondo to do for a short. Like claim the high, right? So since we claimed the high, this is generated as the strong low on the 15-minute time frame. If we break that strong low, it gives us additional confluence for our shorts, and this is converted to the strong high. We are only partially deviated away from the local valley area. A lot of people prefer that when they're doing shorts. There's a deviation away, either below or above, to increase your R&R. But when you do that, you just got to make sure that you're babysitting your setup until we break through into the valley area again, right? So if you're entered along down here, you want to see acceptance, the break of structure currents in the valley area. And if we are entering a short here, you want to see acceptance into the valley area before you can start targeting down here. So just make one healthy thing that you can do as a trader is not to overextend your target past a key barrier, right? So a huge key barrier that we're seeing here, once we break this strong low, would be this local demand zone right here, right above the point of control. Like the valley area high obviously is an area you want to watch, but this is like relatively strong right here. So if we bust past this, then you can start looking at further targets. So you're not married to your trade and end up holding through profits and then getting hit and knocked out shortly afterwards. Chainlink. So open. Okay. Chainlink is resting against downtrending momentum. Must be a higher time frame because we see a cut through here. Oh, okay. Yeah. Buyer's momentum. Surprised it's green. Oh, I probably flickered to green after we broke through it because it'd be a bullish result rather than a bearish result. Okay, we don't need this anymore. So if we broke this high over here, we got the change of character occurrence basically. So you can prepare for longs on the higher time frames. So we bounced off a previous point of control. Got a lot of noise here. I'm just trying to identify what's needed. All right. And so we broke after we retested that point of control level. We got above these highs. Now we're trying to honor as support. Let's see, we got basically two value areas from here to here and from where we currently are to here. The moment we tested this value area here as support and got the higher high, that warned us that we're going to be leaving and rotating to a new value area. In this case, we generated a new one above this value area here. So if we break, we have quite a bit of confluence if we break this level for a potential short as well. The positioning is awkward for looking for longs, but because it does seem like everything's going to be mostly range bound for a little bit from what we're seeing on Bitcoin. So I'd be focusing on like shorts, because if we end up getting a change of character occurrence inside this range, opposing one to the downside, then we're going to end up seeing a lot of these altcoins undo some of their gains. And the dominance recently has kind of shifted from Bitcoin into alts as Bitcoin's kind of gotten boring for most traders. Let's look at others' dominance actually. I want to take a peek at how it's behaving, because we've got couple key areas we want to watch out for. We have this key area here at 885. If we break past that, then we could rotate up to 967 area. So not much has changed since we last looked at it. We're just like slowly creeping our way back up. So a break of this, it would give us like an altcoin rally. Not an altcoin season, but definitely an altcoin rally. You see a lot of alts recover a lot of their losses. Breaking this level right now is like the altcoin season warning. So we'd probably get a front run opportunity soon for most of our altcoins being at their lows, and then the hype starting to come in if we break this high here. But that high could change. Like we could end up seeing a different location for that. But right now this is our rally zone right here. Okay. What else do you guys want to look at? Gone through everything in the list. Yeah, we got through everything in the list already. And we haven't got attacked by a crazy amount of spam bots like we did last time. That was wild. Hey Cal, did you ever mention if we used your affiliate link on Blowfin, we are already in the trading competition? I believe you used yours, but I don't know where I can track to confirm. Yeah, so yeah, the affiliate link for Blowfin will give you 20% off all trading fees, give back to you as cash. Plus, it'll automatically enroll you to the tournament. So when you want to track your progress, I included in the announcement. There's a link there. And if you look at the Finova wiki as well, you'll also find it there too. And you basically, it's only UID. So like your name or anything like that won't be up here. So that way you don't have to worry about like your name being posted on this or your username, whatever. It's just your UID and it's all starred out anyways. But you'll know by your tracking record up here where you are in regards to this, and it'll tell you what place you're in too. We've got a couple people, which person first is at up 13%, second 4.9%, third 3.52% so far since we started today. We got 7 days left. But stick to your rules. Don't use the tournament as an excuse to overtrade or anything like that. If your rules aren't met, don't take the trade. Aave. Yeah, we can do that. Oh, we don't have an Aave layout. Aave broke momentum. I'm pretty sure it's a significant one too. Zoom out on the 4 hour. All right, so the pace of the sellers have shifted for Aave. We haven't really got a break in the macro volume yet. We did get a death cross, but that's doesn't mean it's the end of the world. We could come up to retest that as a confluent zone of resistance though, so watch out. If you're in a position, that's going to be an area where you have to watch out for potential resistance at 214. Yeah, we broke the momentum that's been holding it down since 280, and now it's at, 380, and now it's at 180. So we lost $200 on its price tag. We just mitigated a 4-hour order block right here. And our candle indications here and here. Now if we zoom in on the hourly, we're holding off a previous value high. We got internal downtrending momentum here. We have a local demand zone here. Currently holding it off that as support. We can go inside the demand zone. Doesn't mean it has to hold. Go to the 15-minute time frame. Unfortunately, our key area that I would look out for is way up here. And that could just give us a rotation to these highs. So if you end up getting in on SFP or anything down here from these local wicks, I'll be very mindful of the VWAP and this neckline. If this neckline breaks, we can get continuation up to these highs here at 194. But its positioning is getting more and more bullish. It's finally starting to, it's breaking momentum. It's got some relative strength. It's moving on its own basically, despite what everything else is doing. It should have a high volume or higher volume event coming up soon. And the pace of the local sellers and the pace of the macro buyers kind of like merge in this apex point right here. So we might see a shift in the volume trend, like a higher break as we get closer to this level here. Kyle, can you sign my trading journal? Yeah, man. Do you have a trading journal? You better have a trading journal. But yeah, that's actually a really cool idea. Make me feel like celebrity, but if we look at auction, yeah. So auction USDT we have here. Oh, auction's getting pummeled a little bit. It was fighting against the it's 50. Is that the 50 day? Why is it so flatlined? Sec. I'm not sure why it's not populating the settings here. I gotta refresh 1 sec. Okay, let's go to auction again. There we go. All right, synced to the time. Okay. Just want to make sure I have my EMA synced to the daily. So Aave, okay, it had crazy relative strength, then it crashed. That's why it has relative weakness. That's a wild move. So it broke downtrending momentum, grabbed all the liquidity from all these highs. Here, 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 and here. Right? And then you can clearly see it was used as exit liquidity. And right now in the lower time frames, we fought against the 50-day EMA and lost with the bear pennant right here. And just recently grabbed the local liquidity, kind of induced a little bit of a bounce, like a pump. We still have yet to beat the downtrending momentum. And now it's kind of the same ship as Bitcoin, fighting between the 50-day EMA and the 200 EMA, except things are backwards, right? These are crossed. Yeah, these are things are backwards. So like we're coming in from a downtrend rather than coming in from an uptrend for auction. So let's see if we if we start going range bound, like we're anticipating with Bitcoin, between these two EMAs. But yeah, this is the momentum I'd watch. Hopefully we grab the lower low one last time before we potentially get that return. And we can watch this as our key level. But right now, technically, if you're looking for a change of character occurrence, that's our key level right here. If we grab this lower low, it'll become this level instead. I would watch this valley area for an acceptance zone after the change of character occurs, and all our candles are included right here. Included up to, okay, around here. Yeah, now I see, okay, I gotta clear them all. This is our valley area low for this range bound price action. Like that, we have a tighter valley area here. Most of our core interest is in this range right here. So if we end up, I'll be mostly monitoring this as a form of resistance because we have the crazy volume shelf right here, a crazy peak right here. So if we do manage to get above this valley area low, and with the confluence of the 15-minute order block, that'll likely give us a rejection. We'll probably take a couple tests to break past it if we do get past it, but that point of control is relatively strong. We can see that a lot of the core interest is right here. So be very mindful at around $20.94 if you decide to enter along on auction. That's going to be like basically your final boss, because everything past that would be relatively fast pace. towards any of your local targets. Well, that's auction. Bitcoin, we just got that break of that neckline. So we got the change of character occurrence. Since we got that higher high, this became our strong low. We broke that strong low just now. This now becomes our strong high right here. So this is one of the best guard zones if you're thinking about shorting. We have the point of control confluence for protecting your capital. However, your short targets are going to be kind of slim. So this is one of those things where I feel like we know it's going to come down, but should you take the trade, right? And this is more so if I were looking at this and I entered a long down here, this would be a long like exit warning. We lost momentum. We got the change of character. We just got rejection of the point of control. So I'd look at this and I'd say maybe I should close a portion of my trade if I was in an existing long position from this local price action, like this double bottom structure here, for example. Because when we broke, there's a lot of confluence here for entering longs. Got deviation of the value area, double bottom. Our close above the double bottom neckline was also above the VWAP. So now we can just see that potentially come down to these lows again. But we do have this little demand zone here that we got to watch out for. So it's best to pick, if you're going to be entering a short, go through your favorite assets that you'd like to trade and see which one has the least amount of barriers that flow in confluence with Bitcoin's price action. Hola, Kyle. French toaster. I love your name, man. What we have, I think that's all the requests. Anything else you guys want to look at? I still got another 45 minutes. Well, we just got the candle close above the neckline. So the pathing based on the data that we have. If we look at the volume shelves and the price action and the VWAP, if we could see a potential bounce off here, retest to the neckline. Here's where I get concerned. And then target it around here. Change the opacity. It's a little bit easier to see. What is that RSI? This is called divergence. So if you look up just the word divergence, you will see one under technicals, RSI divergence indicator. It's a free indicator that you can grab. It's the same as the regular RSI, except it's kind of like lazy mode for traders. It will draw bearish divergence and bullish divergence for you. It doesn't catch them all, so you still need to learn the difference between like how to identify bullish and bearish divergence. But it does capture like a lot of the more important ones. But yeah. Can you look at Beam? Yeah, William. Let's take a look. I don't think we have a Beam chart. Oh, we don't. Okay. So let's take a look at Beam. USDT. Beam on Bybit. Probably our best bet. We just hit a 200 EMA, 50 EMA right here. That's resistance on Beam. Let's zoom out on the daily quickly first. The last time we looked at Beam was a while ago, back in February. We were looking at longs inside of this range. and target a value area high, and this level for continuation if we got it. So beam broke momentum. We have broad momentum over here, but we have a lot of negative space against it. It bounced off a daily order block from basically that was created back in its inception. I think that because I know it's an order block on the daily, and those are relatively important. However, would those orders still be there after 492 days? I doubt it. So I'm assuming people responded to that order block, and because the masses are all trading, looking at the same thing, they jumped in on it. We have like a little demand zone, but it's relatively aged. Right now we are trying to we just mitigated 2 daily order blocks on the upside in confluence with hitting the 50-day EMA. So we have some reason for a cool down for Beam, kind of like the same reasoning that we have for Bitcoin. Yeah, the last trade setup was a break of the downtrending momentum, and we wanted to have a break of this high here, and we ended up getting like a Wyckoff model, like an inverse head and shoulders, and we got to the value area high, double top warning, and that was kind of like the last time we looked at the chart. That same area that we had our last trade, we should pull a fixed range volume profile from here and here, because these are going to have a core influence over the current price action. So we want to mark our value area lows, previous value area low, or you just press Alt J to speed up the process of labeling all this stuff. And then you can just update your stuff after that. Previous value area high, previous POC, previous value area high, previous POC. Okay, so now we can kind of get an understanding of the flow, like why things occurred, right? So we already know we had a daily order block here. We had the 50-day EMA, but we also now can see visually that we came up and hit a previous point of control that has a relatively strong peak. There's lots of volume resided here from accumulation here and some retests of support here. So what we want to see for Beam, we have a high confluence area here for continuation. Right now it's looking like strong resistance. However, it also can build you an opportunity to prepare for a potential long. So if we end up seeing support off of these areas, off the value area low, the point of control, the previous point of control, and this recent high, you have a lot of confluence for it to return to its previous highs up here, this value area high up here. We have lots of order blocks for confluence for resistance when we get up there. And we have this local high up here as well, where I would likely be targeting, because we have confluence of an order block there, and we know that there's likely liquidity residing there. We had a really strong impulsive move, so there could have been market maker activity influencing this drop, and so there could be tons of liquidity waiting for us up on that area. We could check to make sure. So we have this little peak that I'm talking about here. Let's see how long it's been. 32 days. So I'll look at the heat maps and see if they have a beam chart. Yeah, I can look at Sonic as well, and XRP. So Beam, we do have a Beam liquidity chart. Okay, that was how long? It was from that high to where we are now, 32 days. Okay, so we need to look at 30 days, or just above 30 days. So 3-month chart. Okay, and that high. Oh, we just grabbed a bunch of liquidity recently, but that high does have a bunch of liquidity above it, right here. But we can definitely tell that there's more liquidity on the upside. Well, there has to be, right? Because Beam is basically at price discovery levels. There's a lot more liquidity above us than there's below us. So in a market maker's perspective, if you're jumping in along, you want prices to go up to these high liquidity zones so you can exit with the least amount of slippage. So you might see some change of characters induced by market makers to help bring the price up. So that's our high confluence exit area if we're for like a short term scalp. Otherwise, we could see it come down if we lose this low. We could get support off this previous value area high. But yeah, we can be range bound between this previous value area low and our current high here as we try to fight against the 50-day EMA in that previous value area. It's looking good for Beam. Kyle, I'm short. Save me. 5'4". Scraper plus trade journaling equals exhausting. Yeah, if you're scalping, I can understand like trade journaling being a lot more of a chore, but it's worth it, man. And it'll force, if you hate doing it, it'll force you to focus on higher quality setups. Injective stuff loss taken. Focus on next opportunity. Yeah. What is that? RSI. Okay, we did that. Flux and HNT for a long run, not trading. Let's see what Flux looks like. Okay, so we got bearish divergence forming. This is the hourly time frame. I was going to give it a quick zoom out because I don't even know if I ever... Okay, I guess I did do a lot of TA on this thing. Pretty noisy too. Back in 2023. And then over here in January 2024. Just gonna mark this consolidative point here, the valley area, because we're testing that level now. So here we had the bounce off the valley area high, came down, and now we're below that valley area, using the valley area low as resistance. We're consolidating off of it right now as we speak. We're trying to build that continuation posture. It's a little awkward trading structure. We get the higher high taken. So we grab that liquidity. We have higher time frame divergence forming from these two high points. I'd watch and monitor this valley area. Currently at its valley area high. We're like in a supply concern right now as we speak. So typically these are zones where you prepare for shorts. If we hold this level, this little demand zone here, and we could be range bound like everything else. So right now we want to see, if you're looking for an opportunity for a short, it could be here, but I'd rather not trade inside the value area. I'd rather look for trades outside of it. But yeah, we lost buyer's momentum. We're now using the value area high as resistance. We're at the point of control and a relatively strong volume shelf, the VWAP confluence. So if we lose this level, we have lots of reasons to drop to at least here, and then maybe have a continuation down to its local demand zone. So it's looking more range bound, but it definitely is like positioning itself to be more like it's preparing for a longer term continuation, that's for sure. Like based on this posture. See how this goes. But you definitely want to see it reclaim 43 cents. You don't want to see this thing die. I don't know much about it, but obviously I've done TA on it before. HNT was the other request. Helium. I know helium's became a little bit less inflationary. The last time we looked at it was February 25th. We had these highs that we wanted to have broken to target these value area highs here. It looks like we got the close above it, then we tweezered. A big tweezer is a huge warning to potentially exit positions or enter the opposing direction of the tweezer. So like here you would prefer for a short. You typically want them to engulf so you have a better chance of the trade working out. If they happen above or below a value area, like there are usually relatively good indications for positions. And there's a good indicator called Shi-High. That if you use the Shi-High indicator from 11x, whenever you see like a Shi-High like triangle appear above a 15-minute tweezer reaction, then they're amazing like long or short opportunities. They play out like at least 80 to 90% of the time. And HNT is also fighting against the 50-day EMA and confluence with the previous point of control. So it has lots of reasoning to reject and potentially come back down to the value area low. It's got like this rising wedge structure, which is typically like a warning of a reduced amount of confidence in traders. The volume starts to dwindle like more and more and more as we approach the apex point, is usually in confluence with a strong area of resistance. In this case, it's this point of control and a 50-day EMA. So that's why volume is starting to reduce on HNT. If we break to the downside, then you target the bottom side of the falling wedge when you're drawing that when you're trading against those structures. Well, we had the confluence of the value area low for your targeting as well. Well, that's HNT on the 4-hour. So yeah, it does look like it's positioning itself for a drop 10 to 308. We have for VRA. Do we have a VRA chart yet? Open. We do. Virtuals. Well, VRA is not virtuals, but we'll do virtuals anyways. Virtuals, we're looking at longs right here. Right, we had the change of character occurrence when we broke this high. So we just barely grabbed that low, right? Oh, equal lows. Wait, we got that break. Acceptance to the value area. And you target the value area high, but we're getting extension. We're going past that right now. We just pull this, update to current. Double distribution. And now we're testing this previous demand zone. This is a pretty important demand zone too. This is the one that we kind of wanted to hold off, but instead we lost it, had to act as resistance, and then came all the way down to this other zone, which is a really amazing accumulation zone, around 60 cents. We weren't there for very long. We had like this ascending double bottom posture, and we broke to the upside. Our key level that we were watching to make sure we wanted to have that continuation was here, because we never got the lower low. And that key level ended up being the value area low for this range bound price action here. If we get a double top off of this demand zone, then I'll be targeting this previous value area high at 73,969. If we break past that, then we can start targeting the point of control at 68. But before breaking this, I'd rather us take a higher high first. Right now we're hovering above the VWAP on the hourly or on every time frame. So we have actually a posture for continuation right now internally. So here, like a bull pennant. The momentum since the bull pennant was created, it does generate us a higher high target. We've got to watch out for the high, the local high here, where we have a 30-minute order block. But if we break past that, then I think this target's relatively easy to get at 85.156. Here I would prepare for an SFP and then target these lows. If we break this low, then the value area high, we break the value area high, then we target here. But it does look like right now we're going up. We had the confluence of the VWAP. We had a recently generated order block. We got the pennant's already starting to break as we speak. We're about to get the change of character. So we want to start targeting where all the liquidity is. Here and here. Oh, the chicken's in the house. Crypto Pollo, how you doing, man? Verocity. Okay, we can look at Verocity too. Yeah, Virtual's looking bullish. Here's your areas of concern. Local resistance here. And then the liquidity right above 84. Just got home. Nice, man. Verocity. Okay. I used to be a big holder of Verocity in the last cycle. I don't have any of it now. Yeah, the last cycle was pretty great for Verocity. Ended up reaching, like, this is where Bitcoin had its last cycle peak, around like 69K, and it reached 87. What kind of sucks for Verocity right now is we are below this macro demand zone. So like here is because we're deviated below it, it's important to look at the tokenomics of the asset to see if it's inflationary that's causing it to lose these levels. Because if it's inflationary, then its all-time high level is not the same technically in terms of market cap. We need to see acceptance back up in here. Or 20, yeah, 0.002454. If we end up having this act as resistance and we get a lower low, then we can start seeing Verocity go back down to its historical like starting point, basically the first value area it's ever created on the daily, and fall all the way back down to here. And that would suck. So this will be our next little demand zone here. But the optimistic side of this, we have the downtrending momentum already broken. We need to have a change of character occurrence. Unfortunately, the change of character occurrence is pretty high up there. Yeah, we need to go pretty high. This obviously is a key area where there's liquidity stacking, and we could use that as buy-side liquidity to help pump Verocity out of this. I'm not sure whatever came of it, but I believe there was supposed to be a partnership between VRA, YouTube, and potentially X or Twitter to be helped. So it's used as a tool to help provide like cryptocurrency rewards to the platform creators. So hourly. We don't need that anymore. Yeah, so we're on our way rotating back up. This is a key level that you want to watch out for. We have some order blocks right up below these highs. So like 0.001831 is your key level. So if you're in on a long, let's say you jumped in a long because of the internal double bottom change character, right? Lots of reasons to enter a long right here. Yeah, we're fractalizing double bottoms above the VWAP, broke momentum, got the change of character occurrence, retested, got the higher high, the full body higher high here. So you could target from that moment on, you'd start targeting at least these levels here, watching out for the liquidity that could be stacked right here and here. Because if we used as exit liquidity, right? We got good momentum that we could watch and monitor. So if we get the break of momentum, you could use that as a warning sign to potentially take some profits off the table. However, the big thing that you would want to watch mostly is an opposing change of character occurrence. And if that happens in confluence with reaching these highs, then I'd definitely take at least 50% off the table. But I wouldn't try to close the whole trade. I'd definitely move my stop loss higher up in the profit zone, but I wouldn't want to close it entirely, because if we break these highs, then you'd be in an amazing position to hold for potential acceptance into this macro demand zone that could eventually get Verocity back up to where it kind of deserves to be. This is one of the good assets, so I don't want to see this thing fail. What would you recommend long-time Verocity holder with a DCA of 0.0039? 0.39. So you're at a loss right now of about 66%. Maybe roughly around 50. So what I'd recommend is learning how to range trade with your spot position and recycle your, like, this is how I would do it, not financial advice. But if, let's say, for example, I'm holding VRA and my average is like 3 cents, and right now we're at, or no, not 3 cents, like 0.003, and right now we're at 0.001. I would look for potential shorts where a range could form and close like a portion of my bag to rebuy at support levels of the value area. So the value area low, the same reason why you want to enter a short, you could close your spot bag, sell it, then rebuy some of it down here. And what that does is it gives you free tokens, and whatever free amount of tokens you got, you add those free tokens in your portfolio tracker, and it'll lower your average more and more and more. And you just keep doing that until your average is finally at a profit. And I did that with a few tokens this cycle because I got my butt kicked on Matic. I bought it like 79 cents, and I had to I did that over and over and over again until I got my average down to 30 cents. And then I sold it once it confirmed a break of its macro support level, and haven't touched it since. So there's certain levels that if you break, I'm going to trust you a lot less, right? So if Bitcoin broke its like macro legacy support, I would rethink holding Bitcoin too. But that's like way down low right now. It's like a 20-some K. Okay. So yeah, I would recommend not investing more into the project if you're down that much, and I would work on enhancing your ability to like improve your win rate as much as you possibly can, at least above like 50% preferably. Focus on 1 to 2 risk reward ratios or greater, preferably greater, and just constantly sell and rebuy your existing position with a stop loss trigger rebuy, so you don't miss out on any of the pumps. And if you're wrong, you lose a small amount of your tokens. How much of the spot bag would you sell each time? It depends on its like relative position against my rest of my macro portfolio, but typically I would sell enough so that if I was wrong on the rebuy, I would lose 1% of those holdings. And then if I was right, I would gain 2% more of those holdings. What are your thoughts on sand, Kyle? Let's take a peek. And someone asked me to look at Sonic too, so I'll look at Sonic first and then I'll look at sand. Sorry, I didn't mean to skip the Sonic request. Sonic is a little awkward for me because it used to be Phantom. So we know there's more historical price action than what's shown on the Sonic chart. And that's really awkward for me. I need to know like the historical data. So when you do your top-down analysis, you typically want to do it from the daily, right? I'm pretty sure. And last time we looked at it was shorts, and it just got pummeled ever since. The daily structure is awkward. I want to break that high on the daily. So I can just fix my volume indicator. I accidentally clicked it down. I should lock these really. Oh, they don't have a lock. Yeah. All right. So we're approaching a daily order block. We're seeing a slight undercut to it right now. I'm going to mark this. Change the opacity a bit. Go down to the 15-minute. All right, we've got 3 core areas of interest from the start of this fixed range volume profile poll. We get down here from this range, here, here, and we came back into it here, escaped it, and we have this value area here that we got to be concerned about too. So we essentially have like multiple value areas within this fixed range volume profile poll, and we can see that we're trying to test this level. We have this volume shelf right here, and we're having it act as resistance right now. bringing the price down. We held it as support all through here. And now we're seeing it act as resistance. So that could drive the price down to as low as 26.34. We don't have very much posture after that rejection, but we do have this little micro valley area on the 5-minute and a 15-minute order block here. So that could induce a pump, and maybe we can get a double top structure so we can actually get a proper trade in. Sonic, yeah. Sonic's got a long way to go, unfortunately, before we can consider it like recovered. We could try front running it with internal structure, like lower time frame stuff like this. But what we want to see happen is acceptance back inside this valley area here. If we get back up here above like 29.19, you can feel a lot more confident in potentially investing in it, at least to the value area high for 33 cents, because that move between here and there is like you can gain like 13% growth on your bags from that. So once you see acceptance into here, I would look for potential long opportunities. There could be trades down here, obviously, but in this zone, it'll be relatively easy mode, knowing that we had a respected value area for that long. It's been around for 28 days before we lost it. So getting acceptance in there, target the highs, but we truly want to see a break of these highs here on the daily so we can get that daily change of character occurrence and break that 50-day EMA. There's a lot more to Sonic than what we're seeing here. Like this rebranded phantom chart kind of broke things on for trackability. I'm starting to boycott assets that do that. I'm getting really tired of it. Makes me feel like there's something to hide. But I know that they just got Sonic's got like a new team, so. But yeah, Sonic. There's also Sonic on Solana. Okay, so I'm looking at a different Sonic then, is what you're saying. It'd make more sense. Can I look up Phantom? Is that still a chart? Doesn't look like it. It's S, okay. That's better. Yeah, it's a lot better. Okay. So we're looking at Sonic on Solana chart, and this is the Sonic, the Phantom rebrand. We broke that. We're getting above the supply concern. We're trying to, at least. We got above a little bit, grabbed the liquidity already. Zoom in on the 15-minute. We double topped. We didn't get the higher high. And it does look like you're ready for it to top a bit here, to rotate back down to its value area low. Maybe we'll go range bound. We're above the 50-day EMA on this thing, so that's bullish. We rode against it as resistance for a while, and then when we got above this value area high and we retested and got the higher high, we confirmed it as support, and then you'd monitor the supply concerns along the way up, and that's where you'd typically want to take profits on a trade like that. So we're at that target. We're double topping. So we're getting a lot of warning signs to tell you to potentially close any long positions, like short-term longs at least. In terms of the longer-term hold, I'm happy that we got that break. We got a daily change of character occurrence. So that's great. We got that break there. So we can prepare for potential rotations back up here soon. But I think we're like short term though, we'll be range bound for a little bit. Similar to what we're seeing with Bitcoin being squeezed against the value area, like the 200-day EMA and the 50-day EMA. We had a good rally, so we're going to have a brief cool down period. US bidders for TikTok want to bring it on chain. Oh man. Please don't forget about sand. Yes, sand. This was one I was invested in last cycle too. You can make decent money on sand. Anyone who is like a 3D creator, anyone 3D artists in the house, you can make some NFTs on their platform to allow people to use them inside their games and make decent money off of selling them. I would focus on like, if you are going to pursue that, I focus on stuff that you can like build scarcity around, like make it rare in some sense. Or if it's something that you think everyone's going to use, like a chair or something like that, then don't put too much scarcity on it. So you can get yourself a lot of income on recurring transactions. But the last time we looked at sand was mostly on longs. If we got the break of this falling wedge structure, that we want to, just because we had a falling wedge break doesn't mean you want to jump in. You want to make sure you break the key area too. And we got that after a pullback and a retest of higher high with a confluence of breaking the 200-day EMA and staying above the 50 EMA. And we just launched right to the target, which is the top side of the falling wedge. And then ever since, we kind of fallen kind of the same behavior as the falling wedge, except a lot faster pace. We got our pace, our momentum was a little far faster. Like from this high, before we broke, it's like 194 days. And this high here, from this momentum, 64 days. And we typically hit the target of formations based on their momentum, like about 10% of the age of the formation. So this would normally probably take, if this was 194 days, it should probably take about 20 some days to get to a target. And 22 days. And because this one's about 64 days, we can get there a lot faster. But I don't think it'll be that fast. I'm not expecting this to be up there in like a week. But yeah, this is the change of character. This is kind of like a carbon copy of what happened before. Obviously, it's a lot more laggy back then than it was here. But we got the key area break already, where the green dotted line is. So we'll see if we end up getting the fast move up. It could be a good time to invest. Not financial advice. Now its posture right now is looking, got a little bit of an internal regression trend. These typically break to the downside because of how liquidity is formed. The order flow of traders, bunch of stacking liquidity from here to here. So we could end up grabbing the local liquidity from the high and then grabbing this before running up. But I might buy some sand short term. Like throw $1,000 in it for a target of more of a long-term spot hold. From 30 cents to 67 cents, so like 2x. It's like 130% growth target. You own 9 small plots of Sandbox land. Nice. A lot more affordable than land in real life these days, that's for sure. Some of them are pretty intense out there. Like there's some games on chain that they charge you like 20 grand for like land and stuff like that. And like it's just stupid. I understand 20 grand for like a validator node, but not for land unless you can get some crazy good staking rewards. CRO. Kronos. So CRO broke down trading momentum. Green line is here. Once the candles want to populate. So kind of similar to what we saw with sand, except it's got a really fast-paced pump lead up. We broke the downtrend momentum. We got a support bounce in the lower time frames off of the momentum and confluence with the 50-day EMA. Like they're paired together pretty much simultaneously right here. All right, we got the higher high, and now we're at the 200. So it's looking like Bitcoin combating between the 50-day and the 200 EMA as well. So we might see consolidation here as we fight the 200-day and cool off from this crazy pump that we had, because that's kind of an unsustainable pump, to be honest. 40%. Some fair value gaps. Yeah. So the order books are pretty clear down here. So the drop will be relatively quick if we lose this neckline. Come down to this demand zone as our last like little support guard. So I'll be looking for potential shorts here, unless we get a full body closure above this high and a support bounce off the 200. If we get a support bounce off the 200 and a higher high, then I'll be very cautious with shorts. But if we just grab liquidity from above here and stay, and they get acceptance back below, then I'll be looking for shorts and targeting this demand zone. Best virtual world is still Second Life. Yeah. When I think Second Life, I haven't heard of anything other than maybe The Office, like that episode from The Office where like Dwight has a second life, and he makes a second life inside the game to escape reality even further. So that's what I think of when you say Second Life. Can we look at Solana? Yeah, let's take a peek at Solana. And then I gotta head out, guys. I got a coaching call coming up in a moment. And then I got another group call with the community. Okay, so we had a little bit of fear in our hearts when we saw the Batman formation, right? We lost momentum, retested it, and got the lower low and hit that target pretty quickly. I didn't really give it as a signal, but inside one of the chats inside the community, I just screenshot it, telling everyone to look out, Batman's here. But we got, after we broke the momentum here, we haven't really stopped rallying our way up. And we already got the same location where we got that Batman formation here, bring the price down, which you guys will learn about in a video tomorrow. I'm posting like a YouTube video tomorrow on it. And we're at a previous value area high that's relatively important for Solana. So I'm feeling a lot more confident in Solana after seeing it break its macro momentum here. That's been holding it down since, I'm not sure if that's the all-time high. 295. But yeah, now we can start chasing after liquidity that's above us. We have this moment where price action just went bonkers during the summit. So a lot of like the upside liquidity was taken from here onwards. But we still have some added here, a slight amount added here, and a slight amount added here to help drive the price up. So I'm expecting for us to go range bound though, similar to like what we've been talking about with most assets between the 200 and the 50-day EMA, except this reasoning is based on the previous value area high and confluence with all that, right? So if we have This is the hourly. This is the 15-minute. If we zoom in, we see we're starting to lose local momentum here. So we should treat the price action or the previous value area as if we're in it locally, right? Until we define more price action here where we can start pulling our own fixed range and see how the two data sets like influence the price action for additional confluence. But it does look like it's more bearish than bullish. I would still prefer it to come up and grab liquidity here first before coming down. And then we can use this as a good zone to watch out for anyone who wants continuations for potential shorts. They might have got in on a potential SFP up here. If we lose momentum, we lose our chances quite dramatically to do that, but it doesn't mean it's not possible. I've seen it happen dozens of times. This is low. If it's broken, we can start targeting the previous point of control while being very, very mindful of this demand zone, because we had this impulse move here, built a base, impulse move. So this is considered a form of demand. So you'd box zones like this in case we use them as support. And if you don't like the R&R of your setup and you're aware of the demand zone like this, then see if it induces a pump. Like if all your rules are already met, you might be able to get yourself in on the retest before targeting these lows down here. But yeah, last time we revisited demand zone, very similar to this posture here. We tested it and we continued off. So we gotta watch that area cautiously and make sure you trade with the stop loss. Can we look at Injective before we go? Yeah. Yeah, we had a trade on that this morning. I had closed half of it. Yeah, we just grabbed. So here's what we're looking at for the short this morning. Because if we look at the hourly for Injective, we had a hourly SFP. Grabbed liquidity. And then we jumped in on the 3-minute to look for a pullback location from this high to this low using Fibonacci. We hit the 786, it got rejected, and we got the change of character occurrence. And I got in on the retest of the momentum right here. And it worked out well. Immediately after entering, went straight down to the local point of control, which is our first barrier concern. And that's where I closed half. But it does look like we just got stopped out for the remaining position. So I lost a little, looks like. So here, still an area where you would kind of want to prepare for a potential short again, to be honest. We grabbed that liquidity. And now we have a chalk zone here that we can watch out for in a 3-minute with the confluence of acceptance. But that point of control is obviously giving us a run for our money. So we have to watch out for that barrier again along the way down. If we break that point of control, then we'll feel a lot better about hitting our target, the value area low. Let's see what the 5-minute looks like. 15. Oh, we got a 15-minute. Oh, I don't like where it closed. If this full body candle here closed down here, I'll feel a lot better about just entering a short now than using the high as a stop loss guard. But we have like an incomplete SFP. We grab liquidity, but I don't like how the candle closed itself because we have price acceptance now above these highs. So that makes me concerned that we could be leaving potentially the value area. So waiting for that 3-minute change of character occurrence, or I guess even the 15-minute here, be a lot safer than trying to enter a short up here now. Just because of that fact right here. It dramatically increases our chances of the fact that we're also at a previous value area low, current value area high. So that's acceptance into a previous value area and potential warning sign that we're leaving an active value area. So I'd be cautious about entering shorts until we break that level here. For me personally, at least. Hi Kyle, go Sol on Bitcoin. Yeah, thanks man. Yeah, Solana's doing great. Bitcoin's doing great. This is what we're watching out for right now with Bitcoin. It's got this little fight. So we're worried about that the VWAP. So we want the VWAP break confluence of losing this level. We got the break of the level, but we got the change of character currents, but we need a break of that VWAP, and we can start targeting these little local demand zones here. Yeah, I hope we range here for a couple of days. Give us a good cool off period. Let alts rally a little bit, and then finally break this macro downtrending momentum for Bitcoin, while in confluence with that, getting above the 50-day EMA to allow the 200 to eventually cross the 50 again. I want to say I paid 6,000 USDC for those plots. I forgot when exactly. DeFi or NFT Mania. Oh, I got you. That's quite a bit, man. If we look at Solana, yeah, we looked at Solana. All right, guys, I gotta go. I gotta jump into another call, and then I gotta jump into another call after that. Remember, if you guys like and subscribe, and you got a comment to allow the system that I've got that's allowing me to pick winners for like weekly giveaways requires like comments on the videos. I don't think the chat counts, so maybe like right after the video, leave a comment, and then it'll allow me to add you to the system for a giveaway. And again, congratulations to the winner. Let me look at the name here. Everything's moving slowly today. I think yeah. The winner, yeah, Janice Bowles. Sorry, I say that wrong. Avels. Janice Avels, yeah, shoot me a message. My handle is in the description. Just remember, I will not be asking anyone for money. There's impersonators everywhere on Discord and in the comments, so just be careful. Everything's moving slowly today. I think yeah. The winner, yeah, Janice Bowles. Sorry, I say that wrong. All right, guys.